on Curiosity Stream. He allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW.
Coming up, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. First time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Had a couple from our question today. Even if it was not sexual, how does genitalia figure into the story, guys? Partying as young people do. Only one bathroom in the house. We partied at. As a dude, that's obviously not an issue. Makes it more difficult, though, for the ladies. So someone yelled out to the whole party that there were two girls going number one at the same time. So everyone had to check. Sure enough, two girls on the toilet. One sitting on another's lap with her pants down.
Wow.
Using the bathroom at the same time. Have a great day, guys. It's from Christopher. The year 2000, my youngest son at the time was 5. I take he and his two older brothers to Dick's Sporting Goods for snowsuits. Going to the summit, doing a little inner tubing. Well, while in the fitting room, I zipped this poor little man in his soon-to-be snow pants, and I could not unzip. Nothing less, the paramedics had to come. We still have the Schwab baby bear. Poor Ty. That from Lisa.
Damn. Nice job, Mom.
Yeah. Move on to the birthday request. Hola, bitches. It's my boy Kevin's birthday. Can I get your penis is too small? And some turtle sex. Thanks, guys. Liquor and whores. Guys, today's my little brother Brandon's 29th birthday. Can you guys give him some of your best Beavis and Butthead insults? Thanks, guys. That from Tasha, the favorite child. I don't even know. I just read that they're redoing Beavis and Butthead, and now they're all middle-aged and fat. I don't even know if
like an updated version?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mike Judge just put it out yesterday.
All I remember is the guy from King of the Hill who was initially in the Beavis and Butthead.
Hank Hill, yeah.
Yeah, Hank Hill. You two boys been whacking in my shed?
That's the only thing I remember.
Well, and he was always getting stuff at the fast food joint. They were putting bugs in the fryer.
Yeah.
Why don't we stick to, like, stuff we already do?
Right,
people?
yes.
There's, like, 3 of those today. Hey, can you add this?
No.
Like, you think Mike, like, the sound effects Mike has ability to have are ones that we have in the system. You can't just go find one. Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you. Good public service announcement. Yes! Guys, my husband Ryan and I rarely see each other due to the work schedules, and your show is our link. We laugh about the episodes we hear and replay our favorite parts. Ryan is turning 35 after being a longtime listener. He'd appreciate a little birthday request. So can Coach Ted hype him up about whiskey having the opposite effect? It's an anomaly, and I'm grateful for it. Lots of love. That from Melissa.
Well, that's pretty awesome. A lot of people call it Whiskey D. For you, it's Whiskey D in a good way. Man, I don't know. Sounds like you got to lay this girl down. Yeah, sure, she's your wife. You're what is he, 45?
35.
35. Oh, that explains it. Yeah, that whiskey won't really start kicking your butt till about 40. Then you're going to be in trouble. But sure, it has the opposite effects. I mean, in this case, I say keep drinking. Maybe start the morning with a Mai Tai. Then you throw a little Jim Beam.
All the guys want to
get inside that barrel. You crawl up in there.
Give it a devil's cut.
I'm trying to think, right?
Happy 35th birthday to my fiance, Aaron. Gonna get some turtle sex, and the dirty German's telling him what I'm gonna do to him tonight. Love, the fiance, Jen.
Yeah, tonight she's going to give you some of that fiance butt, which is different than your wife butt, so take advantage.
Yeah, let's be honest, like, she's your fiance. So this is probably, like, the last birthday. She's going to go downtown and go shopping.
Yeah, good tongue breaks.
I almost just said it. So the last time...
All the guys, I am Successfully completed 42 trips around the Great Ball of Fire, so in celebration of my own accomplishment, can I get a fish sandwich montage? That from the JJG, president of the Ted Smith's Fan Club, Texas chapter.
A fish sandwich.
So you know I got
I'll have a fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? Put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
I'll order a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon and at night.
Buy you a fish sandwich. So you don't want a fish sandwich?
Guys, 43 years ago, my mother gave birth to a legend. Me. Can I get a fish sandwich montage and some of Thrill Shotgun Gets? Rock On, Liquor and Whores. That from Peterson from Rainier.
Can I get
a filet of fish sandwich?
So you know I got
I'll have a fish sandwich.
Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? Put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
I'll order a fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dinner relish in the morning. At noon and at night.
Buy you a fish sandwich. So you don't want a fish sandwich?
Get! All the Cholas, it's my birthday. Can I please get some of the Dirty Germans talking about the best things to do to my girlfriend at 45? Thanks, guys. That from Sam in Squim.
Yeah, the best thing to do at 45 is apply Ben Gage to all the parts of the hood. Namely, her knees, her hips, and then shave the Wookiee.
Yeah, so you know, at 45, my suggestion would just be make sure you put the needle in the right spot.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's a record joke.
Oliver is turning a whopping 45 today, and I owe you gents a hell of a lot for keeping the laughter strong this year and making one aspect of life still feel normal. Last year, Ted gave me some great advice on how to run a quality beer mile.
All right.
So this year, I'd love to hear a barbershop face sandwich and you all talking all over each other about the joys of running drunk. Happy New Year to the whole crew there. That from Johnson.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Running drunk.
Man, any other way to go? We got to do it voluntarily. We got to do it. That's why they're doing it like St. Patrick's. Right? Everyone shows up early to the bar, gets absolutely hammered. Now we realize how bad it sucks. And when you throw up, you can blame it on the booze.
Hi, guys. Today is my brother-in-law Barrett's 50th birthday.
Damn.
Yeah, can he get a fish sandwich? And Mickey and Goofy suggesting him cheap ways to celebrate as he has 2 teenage daughters that spend all of his money. I'll thank you guys. That from Jeremy the tax guy.
You want to get a fish sandwich?
Well, gosh, it sure is hard to save money when you got 2 teenage daughters. But old Goofy here, you know, he always has a litter. So this is what you do. You put them up for adoption.
You know, you'd be surprised to hear this, but a lot of times, people that are hurting for money, they bring their kids to the park, and they just leave them here.
Bitches say it's my beautiful wife Kimmy's 54th trip around the sun, even though it's been an S day for me. Had my wallet stolen out of my van in Bellevue by some dirtbag driving a late model Malibu with Florida plates. Could you give her a Leroy Jenkins and some green beans? Might just bring her around to liking your show. Happy birthday, baby girl. Stay fresh, my friends.
Green bean. Green bean.
Like I forgot about this.
We didn't.
Green beans. Green.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's world famous sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails here. All the bitches, Happy New Year. I'm writing in regards with miles and IPAs. I've written a few times before about moving from Seattle to Germany. Well, IPAs don't really exist here. It's mostly pills, lagers, and lighter beers. There are exceptions in Bavaria. Well, I visited a family middle of last year and was overwhelmed by the IPAs after not drinking them for a few years. Though I will go to Belgium and crush their funky beers up there. Cheers, guys. That from Lance.
And crush your funky beers, yeah.
Was the IPA thing ever as crazy as it was in the Northwest?
No.
California.
I should say
Lagunitas.
West Coast.
Yeah, I mean.
All right.
Probably from Colorado to the West Coast. And that was about it.
There's a bunch of them.
And you're right. Like Sierra Nevada is the first like pale ale I remember. But it just seemed like it was massive here. And I feel like now when I go back east, I see a lot more people drinking IPAs than I do out here now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Guys, catching up on the podcast, you guys asked what was the coolest thing about any job you had. Well, back when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I was in sales and entertained clients in New York and Seattle. We got into a debate on which city had the best steakhouse. They would take me to the big New York City chop houses. I would take them to the Met here in Seattle. I got to expense all the meals, and I dined at the Met so many times, they not only remembered me, but I got on their VIP list.
Nice.
This was like a frequent flyer perk. I got free apps, valet parking, earned points for free meals. I took many girlfriends and my future wife to the Met with those points. They were also impressed that I knew the staff, and they knew my order. Those were the good old days. That from SEMO. A couple extras.
There's a couple in New York I still want to go to.
Like what? I don't even know the name.
Peter Luger's.
Peter Luger. Boy, you better be good if that's your last name.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it's one of the oldest steakhouses in the world. Like you might be able to use a card now, but forever it was just cash.
That's my kind of joint.
Couple here from people catching up on the podcast on the Odyssey app. Ola Gents, in my last visit to the doctor's office, it was discovered that my vitamin D levels were low. And my doctor recommended that I started taking a daily supplement to address that issue. Well, now whenever I reach for the bottle, Pat Sajak shows up in my head saying he wants a D, and he's going to get one. So thanks for adding a daily chuckle to start the morning. Thanks for all the laughs, and I sure hope the Color with the Monkey story is featured on the end of the year spectacular. That from Alex.
She wants a D, and she's going to get one.
Oh, yeah.
On that one. John Daly on this one. Albachola's on the topic of John Daly from a show a few episodes back. Guys, he was in town doing a clinic charity event at my local country club. Event lasted about 6 hours between John giving a clinic and then hosting a round of golf where he would ride around his golf cart saying hello to everyone. Well, it's customary when a pro golfer does this, he'll sign a hat or a glove or leave it for the club to display. Not John Daly. He signed the bottle of the fifth that he finished that day alone. The country club still has the bottle to this day. That's from Chris.
You think he's mixing cocktails or just necking it?
I think he's necking it.
Well, he's always got a Diet Coke in his hand, so I wouldn't be surprised if he poured
That's a good call.
Yeah, but that's like me on the airplane. They give me a Coke, they give me that little mini of Jack. I crush the Jack. I might take a sip of Coke.
And I don't know why. Right? Because I could travel around in a golf cart with a case of beer in a day and drink it. Which is just as ridiculous. But there's something that seems like crazy, like, oh, man, you're driving around with a fifth of whiskey.
By the way, if you need a quick pick-me-up, speaking of golf carts, just Google orangutan driving a golf cart. Mm-hmm. It's literally just that, but for some reason, it will bring you immense joy. Mike, you've obviously seen it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's all it is. It's just an orangutan driving a golf cart.
Apparently in Florida somewhere. Yeah. We can't figure it out. But like near a zoo, it seems like, because he goes by a cage of
I can't explain it. It is literally just that. But
it looks so natural.
Yeah, it just looks like a grumpy old man.
It's peaceful.
It is.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the guy who's drinking the cranberry juice after his car breaks down on a skateboard.
Yeah, it's like that,
just
man.
Kind of a relaxing video. You're just like, this guy's in the moment, this orangutan. You know what I mean?
Yes. He's driving with one hand.
Oh,
The
yeah.
thing.
I've seen this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why it brings me so much
He
relaxation.
looks like he's going to work. Like, all right, let's go on over to the clubhouse.
And one more here.
Weird too that he knows the paths.
He knows the path.
He knows where he's going.
He starts driving one. He literally throws his left hand out the window.
He's already got it up there.
He is as chill as it gets, man.
Finally here, subject is
Go to the
naked.
goddamn store. Like, what's he picking up, you think?
Guys, a few years ago, I attended my first open bar wedding. I got so plastered and was driven back to my mom and dad's house. Woke up in the morning naked on their front porch chair. I somehow had bypassed the security alarm. When I came to around 7 a.m., a young child was delivering the morning paper with his dad. Half out of it, I yelled at the kid, "Go away!" He dropped the paper and ran off screaming. Needless to say, my parents were not impressed after hearing the story from the neighbor. Ooh. It is still a touchy subject if I try to joke about it now. God darn open bar weddings. That from Duncan in lovely Victoria, British Columbia.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less.
Yay!
time for Who Sucks Last. Steve will throw you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Twitter, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And as always, we have 3 stories. We have one that involves an international superstar, of which we are all very familiar. Then we will head to China, and then we will circle back to the United States and the fair state of Arizona. But let's begin with a man we've all heard of. A man by the name of Eric Clapton. Heard of him before? Well, basically, even though it is 2022, everything in this story is going to make it sound like this happened years ago, but it didn't, all right? So, The Consequence of Sound, that's a website about entertainment news, etc. They report that Eric Clapton, who has always just been the ultimate version of a gentleman, not a scumbag at all. Eric Clapton has successfully sued a woman in Germany for trying to sell a single bootleg recording of one of his concerts from the 1980s. Now, she was selling it on eBay for how much money do you think? Yes, that's right. The enormous price of $11. Wasn't on vinyl, it was on CD. And a woman claims she didn't even know she was infringing a copyright. See, her husband bought the CD, keep this part in mind, at a department store in 1987. And then he has since passed. So, after he died, she's getting rid of some of his stuff, including this CD. Well, the judge ruled that it didn't matter that she didn't purchase the CD or that she didn't even know the recording was done illegally. Again, because it was bought at a department store. Anyway, she's required to now pay the legal fees for both parties, which amounts to about $3,500. And she can't sell the CD. And if she even tries to, she'll face 6 months in prison or a fine of $283,000. Wow. Now, I know Eric Clapton is broke. He needs the money. And the dude bought it at a department store. She had no idea. Anyway, she was going to sell it, but Eric Clapton, he won't stand for it. She can't make that $11 on his crappy concert. Now we go to China, where a man was recently convicted of theft after drugging his ex-girlfriend, then opening her eyes to unlock her smartphone, and then transfer money from her account into his. Now, he was sentenced to over 3 years in prison, basically because he depleted her bank account so that he could settle his gambling debts. He managed to transfer about $23,000 before making himself scarce and taking her phone with him. Basically, the guy, whose name is Huang, he contacted his ex-girlfriend, who's only known as Dong, under the pretext of wanting to pay back the money that he already owed her.
Huang and Dong?
Huang and Dong. Now, Huang had learned from mutual acquaintances that his ex-girlfriend was sick, so he arrived at her home with fresh vegetables, eager to cook a nice meal. But taken aback by his kindness, she even allowed him to prepare some medicine for her, which turned out to be a big mistake, as the man, he used the opportunity to mix in some drugs that caused her to lose consciousness. As soon as he saw the ex fall asleep, he went to work. He grabbed the woman's phone, used her finger to bypass the fingerprint lock, then held her eyelids open to gain access to her Allpay account. Then he proceeded to transfer the $23,000 from her account to himself. Then when he was done, he just left her unconscious and took her phone with him. So when she finally woke up, she noticed that he and her phone were gone. And when she checked her account, she was shocked to see that her savings had evaporated. Now, seeing the transaction that she had not approved, she tried calling him, but seeing that he wasn't answering, she finally notified the authorities. Believe it or not, he managed to hide out for 4 months. But by the time they found him, he'd already spent most of the funds paying his debts and covering his living expenses. Anyway, earlier this month, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison, and he was ordered to pay a fine of about $5,000.
He should have been fined the exact amount.
Yeah, 23 grand.
His ex-girlfriend, and they should have paid her back with that money.
Now we go to Arizona, where money is not so much the issue here, but a couple in Arizona, they just got arrested after intentionally leaving their 11-year-old son home alone for the holidays. So they live in Alfreda, Arizona, just north of the border with Mexico, and it actually happened before Christmas. The mom, 34-year-old Melissa Green, she left town just before Thanksgiving. 40-year-old dad, Bobby Joe Green, he left just after Thanksgiving. Well, cops got a tip and found the kid home alone during a welfare check on December 12th. So it sounds like he'd been there by himself for 2 full weeks. Now, luckily, he was okay. He had enough to eat, but he hadn't been to school in 2 weeks. Child Protective Services took him in. Melissa and Bobby Joe, they were arrested on December 29th after they finally came home from their trip. Still not clear where they went, and they're facing charges for child neglect.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was unbelievable, man. So again, you have the general three. You have Eric Clapton, who sued some poor woman in Germany. She was trying to sell a CD for $11. Wasn't hers. Did not know his bootleg. You have the guy in China who basically rendered his ex-girlfriend unconscious, got access to her phone, transferred $23,000 to his account to pay off his gambling debts, and then the two parents left their kid home alone for about a month while they went wherever the hell they went for the holidays.
And did the lady who got her money stolen in China, did she get her money back?
I don't know, because the problem is this. The guy was arrested and put into jail, but he spent all the cash, and obviously he has a money issue. I don't know if he has the money to pay her back. So I don't know if she got her money back, but at least the guy was found and arrested.
Okay, well, you have kids about the age of 11, somewhere in that ballpark anyway, right? So how long do you think that your child at that age, because, it's hard to go back in time and remember how big, what you're capable of, like with my kids.
But even if we left them all the food and everything, I mean, the longest we've left them home alone has only been like 3 weeks. And they seemed okay when we got back.
Cool.
I mean, you leave them home for a couple of hours, but I'm always uncomfortable. And they're fine. They know what they're doing.
They're not cooking food.
No, they're not cooking food or anything like that.
It seems like they just get bored.
Right, but again, they left, the day before and the day after Thanksgiving and got back on the 29th of December.
Like, how self-sufficient is this kid? And not that plays into it.
Well,
they are still bad parents.
But
he was okay. But he was okay.
My 9-year-old is self-sufficient, but he's not so self-sufficient that I'm comfortable saying, you know what? We're going to leave.
I understand that.
From Thanksgiving to Christmas. Like,
I'm just trying to figure out who sucks least based on some parameters.
Yeah, the kid's okay, though.
Yeah.
Physically, Mom and Dad left for the holiday. The one time your kids bring you the most joy is generally around the holidays. They're like, you're a pain.
Well, I think the guy in China sucks the most. So I think
I'm inclined to agree with that.
As much as I hate to say it, I think Eric Clapton sucks the least. Which is, you know what I mean? I trust me, I'm not a Clapton fan. I think as a person he sucks.
Yeah.
I can tolerate some of his music, but as far as who he is as a person, I don't. We have a different point of view on things. So I'll just put it that way. All right?
Yeah.
But in this case,
and I appreciate that.
And I just feel like
that's not what you say when Thrill's not in the studio.
I know. Maybe for the first time in his life, he sucks the least. I think that's what I'm gonna have to.
I think he does. He does.
I don't know. I just don't like him as a person. I don't want to give him
I know,
that.
but we have to take that out of the equation.
Yeah,
you're right.
Just
Voting for Aaron Rodgers at MVP. This is a different situation.
It is.
Sucks.
Well, I'm still voting for Aaron Rodgers for MVP. I don't have a vote, folks. I guess here's my issue. Is that she was trying to sell it for $11. So she's forgetting out if we like him as a person, he kind of sued her for no good reason.
Yes.
Other than proving a point and what are you going to pocket it?
Yeah, but he didn't take $26,000 from his girlfriend, passes her out.
He didn't, but she's trying to just get rid of something that, was her late husband's?
Yeah. And right,
so now she's got to shell out $3,500 because she's trying to feel better.
The worst part is...
You know what? I'm just going to say it. They're bad parents... But that kid survived. He must be very, very self-sufficient. Who knows? Maybe he went to the neighbor's house. Maybe that's where his friends live. The
neighbors called in to tip.
Also, he's 11. Maybe this was fantasy land. You get a month off, eat whatever you want. It's probably just chips and candy.
I was like, you eat
Stay up as long as you want.
Stay as long as you want.
Watch whatever you want on television.
I mean, he probably told people over Xbox that he was home alone, and they were like, yeah, whatever, kid.
Yeah, sure.
You'd have to think his parents
just stop talking to the load zone.
I mean, I know they're not responsible, but you'd have to think that they left food in the home. Whether it's just like a big box of microwave burritos.
But I don't know that you get leniency for that. You know what I mean? We left enough food.
Hey, we got microwave food for you. You know what I mean? You'll be good. All of your favorite stuff's in there. Got your popsicles, whatever you like. You know what I'm saying? You can operate.
Maybe they have an extra freezer in the garage.
Who knows?
Full of these frozen pizzas.
Pizza rolls. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's very irresponsible.
God, that living is tough. They all do suck.
They do.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like KISW, there on Twitter. You are listening to The Men's.
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimated.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy, an obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on CuriosityStream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
99.9 KISW. The men's room is in progress.
Coming up in just minutes, we will drink, we will toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, Planners is looking for drivers for their Nutmobile on their cross-country trip with Mr. Peanut.
I'm looking for someone to drive my Nutmobile, too.
Did you see that thing?
I did.
I did not see the picture.
It looks a little bit more. It looks a little bit more easier to get around than the Wienermobile.
That's what I was thinking. A little bit more rounded.
Yeah, it just looks a little bit more practical.
Yeah,
like you could drive it a little. Like with the Wienermobile, it looks like you need a CDL license. With this thing,
is it the shape of a peanut? I'm guessing.
Yeah. It's the Nutmobile.
Big old massive peanut.
To me, it seems like the same size.
I'm about to say it's a little similar to the Wienermobile there, Miles. I would still want to drive it.
It kind of looks like more like an RV to me.
If it came down to the two of them, I think I would prefer the Nutmobile over the Wienermobile.
Really? Yeah, I was going to say, what do you want, Frank or Nuts?
Right.
I'm about to say, they should go on tour.
Travel together, yeah.
I'd prefer to eat a hot dog, but like Miles always like, they don't have hot dogs. Like, they don't. But see, the Nutmobile, I imagine that's full of little packs of peanuts.
Chock full of nuts.
I think that's a different brand, isn't it?
Yeah, chocolate coffee.
Oh, yeah.
What's coffee?
But they're going on tour with Mr. Peanut, so that means that you're actually in the Nutmobile with Mr. Peanut.
You're driving Mr. Peanut around.
Right. Which tells me that this is just a big-ass limousine, and he's just chock full back there with his...
I give it 2 years before you hear the stories coming out about Mr. Peanut
slamming in the back,
being inappropriate on the Nutmobile.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd almost guarantee it.
Crushing
Nothing
shells.
against planners. It's just this. You're dressed up as Mr. Peanut. You got a place to do your business. Like, you're going to have nut groupies.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
He's got a top hat, a cane, and a monocle.
Mm-hmm. Don't take it off.
It's a fancy man.
Or a pimp.
Mike, did you hear about the peanut that was walking through the park? What happened to him?
No.
Oh, yes.
He was assaulted.
You are indeed a dad, Miles.
You want some chock full of nuts coffee?
Jesus, I know. Who knows a different brand of nuts? Like, it's coffee. That's all right. I do the joke. I'm still dying laughing. Like, yeah, get him like assaulting.
Yeah, he's assaulting. Peanut.
Man, it sounds like you honey roasted him.
Damn. 2 out of 3 Japanese men pee sitting down, according to new data.
Hey, I have been pitching this idea to a lot of people. There's a bar I go to, and they say, hey, always put the seat back down. Mm-hmm. So I know some of the bartenders. I said, well, wait a minute. If guys are standing up peeing, doesn't it seem better the seat should stay up? And then when a woman wants to sit down, I said, either that or you tell everybody to sit. Yeah. That's my new theory.
No, I realize women have the inability to pull down toilet seats.
Yeah, or just
even with gravity on their side, it cannot be done. Actually, I read through that article with the Japanese guys, and a lot of it is from their mothers.
Really?
Yeah, they said a lot of when they were growing up, a lot of the moms, because let's face it, guys don't have the best aim in the world.
No, we do not.
We understand that, but apparently in Japan, a lot of the moms like, yeah, homie, don't play that. sit the F down.
Sure.
So these guys, like from childhood, so they don't even think about standing up because it's been drilled into your head, like, sit down.
And not only do men not have the best aim, but even when you do, the splash is actually a lot more than you think. When they do those studies of how just nasty the bathroom around the toilet is, if you were to put a black light on it, you'd be amazed that you could hit that thing right down the black hole.
But if you don't stand up to pee, and every guy will agree with this, when you get to play target practice because there's a little poop stain or anything that's in the, if there's anything in the water or stuck to the bowl, when you stand up and pee, you are going to aim at it.
When you sit down on the toilet, okay, if you stand up and go to the bathroom, a guy aims for the water.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, when a woman sits down, just based on the angle, she's going to have to either haunch up and lean forward to get into the water, or, like some people I know in my family, spray directly into the porcelain, which actually sprays up underneath the seat and makes a bigger mess than my couple of dribbles. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
it's much. It'd be like if you're standing up and you hit porcelain. You know the spray is going to be, but they're only 6 inches away from the porcelain. So the way they hit it with, their gale force, urine, boom, it's spraying everywhere.
Yeah, when you lift up the toilet seat, you're like, dear God, my toilet seat has freckles.
The American Kennel.
Exactly. It's kind of like when you throw up in your toilet and you forget that you didn't clean up underneath the seat. Then when you do lift up the seat, you're going, I missed that vomit from the other night.
Or it's like, I don't know what the combination of booze and food is, but on the Sunday you have one of those. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, you lift up the toilet. It's like, oh, man, how did I get up here?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
How long has it been there?
I wonder if that got on my toothbrush.
Cool. The American Kennel Club now recognizes 2 new breeds. Are you ready for them? They are the Russian Toy and the Muddy.
The what? The Muddy?
Muddy. M-U-D-I. I'm saying it's a Muddy. It could be a Mudai. It could be the Mudie.
So when they recognize breeds, and I don't know the kennel, are these purebreds that they have discovered, or are you still these cross-pollination? Because I have some ideas for a Cocker Spaniel and a Doberman Pinscher.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And an Irish Setter be the Irish Blank Pinscher.
I would think that the days of new purebreds is pretty well out, isn't it?
You would think so.
What's a puggle?
Right.
It's a pug and a beagle, right?
Right.
Okay, well, when that happened in our neighborhood, it was a mutt.
Exactly.
Don't take the mutt label and, I'm going to give this mutt a name. 2 different breeds had sex. Now, it might look more attractive than some of the other combinations.
I think attractive is the wrong word here, but I follow you.
You know what I'm saying? As far as something that looks unique or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what is the criteria?
It's a mutt.
Right.
There's 2 different breeds. It's a mutt.
Is there a Westminster mutt show?
No.
There should be.
There should be.
There's not.
People would love it.
Because mutts seem a lot less erratic, a lot friendlier. Than the pure, and I understand why, but it's like, the gene pool's getting shallow.
Well, the mutt show, basically it's just one.
The mutt show.
One winner takes it off. He takes it all because there's not individual.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this mutt versus this mutt.
Right, exactly.
Period.
Whatever the mutt is, mutt on mutt.
This is Benny. He's a St. Bernard Rottweiler mix.
Yeah, whatever.
Ta-da.
Or like a lot of people, I don't know what the mix is.
Right.
I think it has this in it because it kind of looks like that.
It
but
looks
I don't
like a
know.
Chihuahua and a black lab.
Right. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, there's a new law in France that forces car commercials to tell people to walk or bike instead. So basically, it's like on shorter trips, maybe walk or grab a bike.
So it's like beer commercials here. Please drink responsibly.
Exactly.
This is in France?
Yes.
Yeah. That would seem to be the least likely place that you need that.
Yeah.
Compared to where people, normally will walk and do other things.
Everywhere I visit in Europe, they walk or bike anyway.
Pretty more in that direction already.
Yeah.
Sure.
They don't need that help.
Personal ground transportation.
Sure.
There. Yeah. Just in time for Easter, Hershey's producing Kisses that have vanilla frosting filled in them.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Right? I'm down.
For sure.
I don't think I'll like it as much as your standard Hershey Kiss, but I'm willing to try.
Yeah, it's just a little chunk of chocolate. Anything you want to add to it, I'm fine with.
Yeah. What do you think, Ted?
No, I definitely want to try it. But I bought some Hershey Kisses over the break for my stocking, of course.
There you go.
But yeah, you're right. Like a plain kiss.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Good.
They're doing all right. Drivers in Virginia finally made it off I-95 after being stuck on a 50-mile stretch for more than 24 hours due to the weather.
It's already a bad drive there.
Is it?
But a couple of things, though. I read there was a Schmitz bread truck, all right?
Okay.
So there was a couple in a car.
I did read about
and
this.
they've been, you're already stranded for like 18 hours. So They actually called the Schmitz Bread headquarters and asked if the guy in the truck got in. They did not expect a response, and they said about 20 minutes later, they see the guy that was driving the truck, well, not driving, but sitting in the truck, gets out, opens the back of the truck, and started handing out bread to people. People are getting hungry. I mean, that was the whole thing, right?
Why not?
I think it's just, I just want people to understand, too, when you see that story, like, that is a massive, this wasn't down in, like, some rural part of Virginia.
No.
It's a massive, massive amount of people
yeah.
sprawl. I'm just like, that's got to be more infuriating. Like, if you're in the middle of nowhere, like, I don't know, you're in Idaho and get stuck on a highway in the snowstorm, you go, okay.
You weren't close to where you were going anyway.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine being an exit away and you're stuck on a highway for 18 hours?
Understand, the exits there literally are an eighth or a quarter of a mile away from each other.
Right.
Even if you miss your exit, it's no big deal. You go an eighth of a mile, hop on the next one, and take whatever the main road is back to your house. So I guarantee you, because they said people are abandoning their cars. I'm like, well, what are you going to do? So they probably walked home.
And it's not like that because of the sprawl in that area, a lot of that area. There's developments everywhere. There's like these manufactured communities. So even to get off of the interstate, it's the equivalent of like if you were to drive east on 90, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a portion through there where they have wildlife barriers and fences. They have sound retaining walls.
Right, because your house is right
behind it.
No kidding.
And they're 20, 30 feet high. And you cannot, you can't walk into someone's backyard and say, I need to poop, man.
Right.
Because you can't get through those walls. I'm telling you, man.
They're pooping all over 95. That was a side thing.
These walls are huge. You know what I mean? So you can't even get over and knock on someone's door and go, can I have a glass of water?
Yeah, apparently one of the things that was going on, people would open the car doors, hide behind the door, and poop. Because people got to poop.
Yeah.
So there's poop all over 95 there.
Let's move on to the subject of allowances. A new survey from the UK found that the average kid gets about how much a week in an allowance?
From the UK?
From the UK. How much in a week?
5 pounds.
I'd say 8 pounds.
8 pounds. Miles on a guess.
10 pounds.
Yep, $10 is what they did. They converted it over to dollars, so they're making dollars. Says apparently the number might be low. A study back in 2019 found that the average American kid is more likely $30 a week now.
What?
Yeah.
Man.
And a new poll looked at the most common things kids do to earn their allowance. And my question for you guys is, what would you think would be on the list of the top 10 things that kids do to earn their allowance?
Chores or specific chores?
Exactly.
But I mean,
specific chores.
Oh, mow the lawn.
Empty the dishwasher. Fold
Empty
laundry.
trash.
Yeah.
Don't load the dishwasher.
Do not load it.
You empty
it.
it.
Yeah.
Right. I'll load the damn thing.
Right. You just take them
very
out.
anal.
Number 10 being ready for school on time.
No. That's your responsibility.
Exactly.
Right. A chore is a chore. Being ready for school on time, that's what you have to do.
Right. I shouldn't have to pay
They're
you
going to pay you for that.
Top 10 things kids do to earn their allowance. Number 9, emptying and loading the dishwasher.
Again, empty it, sure, loading it.
My house, no. You're just going to empty it.
Please don't.
Do you have them wash the dishes and not load the dishwasher?
I don't care who I'm living with. I'll rearrange the crap you put in the dishwasher.
Well, sure. But I'm saying, do they hand wash the dishes, though?
No.
I don't know that I ever really think about it. I just try to get everything to fit in there that I want to put in there.
Exactly. It's like Tetris. And someone else will mess that program up for you.
Yes, they will.
All right, because I always hear people bitching about loading it properly. I'm like, is there a certain way?
Yeah, where you can get as much in as possible and get as much washed, with one load, I think.
Number 8, taking out the trash.
Yep.
I did that for free as a kid.
Yeah, I was going to say all this crap is no, that's on the house. That's a condition of living under
Cleaning
our
your
roof.
room, making your bed, that's all part of life.
Top 10 things kids to earn their allowance. Number 7, vacuuming.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that was the hardest chore to get myself and my sisters to do when we were kids.
Really, that's the one I didn't mind doing for one reason. I literally don't have to do anything.
Right. But
I just turned it on, and then it's not like I have a straw and I'm sucking crap out of the carpet. Just roll it over the carpet.
It is the one thing I feel the most satisfied doing as an adult.
Put them triangles in there, man.
I'm this place is good and vacuum now.
It is.
I don't want anyone to vacuum. I want me to vacuum. That is the one chore I'm like, got it.
Plug into headphones, man. Just tune out for a little while. Then the cat goes and lays in the middle of the
Dysons
floor.
are amazing. You're always talking about the product. When you You don't talk about anything else like, man, this is a great lawnmower. Who cares? Cuts of grass.
Right.
When you got a good vacuum, you're like, this bad boy.
You can tell the difference.
All of this
man.
I told you, I use the pet stuff. I don't have a pet.
Yep.
It just smells so nice.
It does.
Number
Really.
6, setting or clearing the table.
Okay. Fair enough.
When's the last time, other than the holidays, that you guys had a dinner at the table?
I don't have a table, so I sit at the bar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. Like, when I was a kid, we started doing that, but honestly, after we turned, I was like 6 or 7. We just moved into the living room. We were all on the couches. Maybe there was the coffee table in the middle.
Right.
There was never, let's sit around the table and let's have a grand dinner.
That's not too far off. When we grew up, there were TV trays.
Right.
So it'd be this thing in the corner and have like 4 trays. Grab a tray, sit down, put the tray up.
I got one of those myself.
Yeah, we have like a small table in my kitchen. But like, we didn't have a dining room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Miles is right. If we could use the TV trays as opposed to sitting in the kitchen, it was a big deal.
Yeah. We'll say,
and like grandma, like you could always use eating in the TV tray.
Mm-hmm. Number 5, helping with the pets. I don't know what that means to help.
Walking
with
the dog, feeding the litter box, picking up the poop that they left in the laundry room.
Gotcha.
The laundry room. Yeah.
Yet again, that was just conditioned on.
You hit the linoleum. Thank you.
Oh my God! No kidding. I hate it when my cat starts making that noise. And I just try to put a piece of paper underneath. And it freaks him out to no end. He's like, I don't want that. And then he just starts walking away towards the carpet again.
Because he wants to lay on it later. He's not going to ruin it.
He does.
But see, there's two, like cats make it very dramatic.
They do.
You know what I mean? It's like they're choking on an ice cube for 45 minutes before they finally just cough it up.
Right.
The dog, even the other night, I hear her having mouth sweats behind me. First, I thought like she's cleaning herself. When I turned around, I realized she just keeps licking her. And I'm like, I just open the door. She goes outside.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Mike, if you ever wonder, if your cat gets in that mood where he's just going to bother you until you pet it, just lay on the floor for a minute, open a big coffee table book or your laptop. They will come and climb on top of it and then walk back
Then you
up,
can leave.
And then you sit on the couch and it'll stay right there. It's a trap. It's a cat trap.
That's why you should always have like a shoe box.
Yeah.
Just open a box.
Oh, yeah.
They climb in. Then you go away.
Yeah. It is amazing that if it's got 4 walls, it will sit in it.
Absolutely.
It is amazing. Number 4, washing dishes. Yet again, I did that for free as a kid.
Oh, yeah. My father was real specific how you did it.
Then you take that dish out later when you need to use it again and go, I need to wash this.
I know.
Jesus, what is this? There's a noodle stuck to the
It's
inside
like you give them the responsibility knowing they're going to suck at it.
Yes.
Like, hey, you need to do this. I'm going to do it again for you later, but...
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
My sister was terrible at it. Because she worked as a dishwasher in a restaurant at some point, right? And I remember walking into the kitchen at one point. She had the dishwasher loaded up with filthy-ass dishes. She had the extendable hose off the faucet and was just hosing them down in the dishwasher. So all that gunk was still in the dishwasher.
And just blows that crap.
Yes. Oh, you just got to run it again. Just didn't get it off. No, it did. It just left it in there, man. Number 3, finishing their homework on time.
No, again, to me, like, this is your responsibility.
Right.
Because my son, there's some dumb things that bad kids do. I'll just leave it at that. It has nothing to do with academia. And he will say, this is stupid. And I say, it is stupid. And this will not help you in life. I said, but here's the unfortunate thing for you. It's still your responsibility. I agree with you 100%. This is a goddamn waste of time. Your teacher might even be an idiot. But here's the thing. You still got to do it.
Yeah, this is not.
You know what I mean? I'm sympathizing with you. I get it. Right. This is dumb.
I don't come
this
home and
makes
go,
no sense.
You need to finish this crossword puzzle.
Right.
That's not the parents' responsibility.
Right.
No.
But you got to do it.
This is what they do. This is their job right now.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 things kids do to earn their allowance. Number 2, making their bed.
No. Right. No. Changing your sheets.
Yes.
Once a week.
Yeah.
All right. I'm down with that, man. You can learn how to. But you need to know how to make your bed.
Right.
Period. Sorry. I mean, that's just one of those things where I'm just like, you feel so much better when you make your bed. I mean, it's just like, I mean,
I do now. As a kid, I didn't. But, but it's still something you got to do. But again, that's one of those things my parents are like, I'm sorry, did you think we said, do you like this? Because that's not what we said.
Right.
We said you need to do this. Two entirely different conversations.
I didn't even open my eyes by the time I made my bed. I'm just walking around like a zombie, like, all right, and it's made.
Right.
I can brush my teeth.
Yeah, I mean, as an adult, I'm with you. There's something very nice about coming home and your bed's made. But yeah, kids don't care.
No. And this is the number 1 thing that kids will do to earn their allowance in here, the year of 2022. Plain and simple, cleaning their room. It says the most common chore that we factor into our kids' allowance.
No.
Well, what else do you give an allowance for if it's not chores?
You wouldn't, but there's, like, to me, a chore is something a little bit outside of your purview of your personal responsibility. So cleaning a room, it's like, I'm not getting on your case, bro. You made the mess, not me. Now, if I go into your room and make a mess, then I will pay you to clean up my mess. But everything in your room is you left this on the floor, or you. So with that kind of stuff, I'm like, this is a responsibility, not a chore. If I'm asking you to wash the dishes that the entire family's eating off of, that's a chore. Or mow the lawn, or take out the trash. Something that we've all contributed to, and you take it upon yourself. I'll hook you up for that. But like, that mess in your room is your mess in your room, homie.
I guess I'm asking is like, I didn't grow up getting an allowance.
Same.
Yeah. Right? So I get, like, I think if you're given, I don't know. I don't know what else you'd give it unless you're just giving your kid money.
Right, that's the only other thing.
Right. So at least that keeps them somewhat on track for that stuff.
Yes, it does.
I feel like I had friends in high school that did just get money.
A lot of them did.
That was their allowance. It was just like, here's your weekly check. Like,
right,
wait a minute.
Your parents just handed, like, what?
Well, their parents also knew they had pensions.
That's fair.
That's a good point.
And at what point do you cut off the allowance? And how does that conversation go? Hey, you know how I've been handing you like $50 every week?
I think when you're old enough to work.
Right.
Because this legally, now, if you want money, you can take it upon yourself to do something about it, right?
Right.
That was my parents, so I get a job.
It may be a new year, but we've still got people acting badly, and I'll give you the story all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK. All right, have we made it to drinking time?
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimated.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy, an obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.